What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. And I'm stoked for today's video because we are going to walk you through a really simple team that you can use to clear the Hall of Water B10. But I'm also going to talk to you about why you may not need to stress over clearing the Hall of Water B10 except for that first time to get the crystal reward. So we're going to talk about drop rates and why it might be more beneficial to farm a different level for both speed and essence collection. Now, before we get into that, I want to make sure you do two quick things for me. Number one, smash that like button if you enjoy Summoner's War content. And number two, subscribe if you want to be getting regular content. We create how-to guides, monster reviews, trainings, beginner progression, all that and more on this very channel. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure to hit subscribe. So we're going to dive right into this level, Hall of Water B10. I'm going to walk you through the team that I use and why I like this team. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is that I've got an attack lead. That doesn't really need to be the case, but I do like having the attack lead to be able to clear the waves leading up to the boss. So I have Lapis lead not because it's going to help me take out the boss, but because it's going to help me clear the waves leading up to the boss, okay? The second monster I have is Vero. And I need him for his cleanse, and I need him for his damage over time, okay? Now, Spectra, you might be wondering why we are using Spectra, because she's at an elemental disadvantage. But her second skill, Special Assault, is really, really powerful against the boss because it's an HP scaling skill, which means because the boss has a higher HP, we're going to deal more damage with Spectra's second skill than we would if the boss had lower HP. So it's a really good skill to use against bosses, and that includes, bosses outside of the halls, like on TOA, for example. Then we have Bella because she's got that stripping power and that healing power plus a defense break. And then we've got Darion, who it doesn't really do a whole lot for us other than reduces the incoming damage, which is really, really powerful. Now, what I like to do once I get to this level is I like to take out both crystals first. Now, you don't actually have to take out these crystals, but I like to take them out in this order. I like to take out the right crystal first, then the left crystal, and then I go for the boss. Now, the reason I do that is because unless you have a really reliable stripper, you're not going to be able to remove the immunity and get damage over times onto the boss in time for them to actually work. Now, the reason I take care of the second tower on the left is that it's a heal block tower. And basically, what happens is, if that tower is able to land its effect on you, you can't sustain your team using Bella because it blocks healing. Now, what's nice about having this team comp that I have here is that they're able to get rid of the towers pretty quickly. And once you get rid of that first tower, you have the attack bar reduction from Lapis that's going to stop that second tower from getting you unrecoverable, while also stopping the boss in the middle from getting too many turns that stun you. So we're really taking care of each tower as a way to stop those negative effects from stopping our team from destroying the main boss. So once we destroy this second tower, which we'll be doing shortly here, we're then going to turn our attention to the main boss. And there's a couple of things that we need to realize about him. And the first one is that his HP has been increased by 500%, and he has really high defense. So between his high HP and his high defense, we need to realize that we can't just take him out with pure on attack assaults, okay? So now that we're turning our attention to him, we need to land damage over time and HP scaling skills. And that's going to come down to Vero and Spectra. Now, what's really important about this team that I didn't talk too much about is that we've got Darion here because he stops the incoming damage from being too high. He reduces it by 20%. And so because he reduces the incoming damage, we can essentially take the hits from the boss without dying. And when Spectra uses his Special Assault, she loses 10% of her HP. So it's really important that we've got that sustainer in Bella, we've got that cleanser in Vero to remove the defense break and the DOTs, and then we've got that Darion to reduce the overall amount of damage that we're having. Now, you might be wondering with Spectra and Lapis why we're using an attack bar reducer when we could more efficiently have more DOTs over time. And the reason is, with this team comp and early on, I like to have time for those DOTs to stack, okay? So this team comp right here, even with the boss's increased HP, will allow you to clear the Hall of Water B10 in like 3:45 to 4 minutes. And that's where we have to have an interesting conversation. Because while the drop rates are good, we need to talk about why you may actually just want to clear the Hall of Water B8, okay? Now, we're not going to continue here. We're actually going to go to the Hall of Water B8, and I'm going to show you the team that I like to use in the Hall of Water B8 because I like to use a slightly different team. I like to replace Darion with Baretta, and I like to give Baretta the speed lead, okay? So still very free-to-play, beginner-friendly monsters, but I like to farm B8 instead. Now, the reason that I'm farming B8 is because I want to walk you through some of the stats about the drop rates. So most of the time that you're farming the Hall of Water or the Hall of Fire or any of the Essence Halls, whether it be Magic, Fire, Water, whatever, you're farming for Essence, right? And you're trying to get Essence. And if you're in the Hall of Water B10, there's a 29.4% chance that you get mid-essence. There's a 56.9% chance you get low essence, and a 13.7% chance you get high essence. Now, most of the time, we're farming for mid-essence, and we're getting high essence as a byproduct of that, okay? If you drop down to B8, you still have a 24.9% chance of getting mid-essence, a 64.7% chance of getting low essence, and a 10.1% chance of getting high essence. Okay, so to compare those, and one other note I should make real quick is that when I go this direction, I can go right for the boss because there's no immunity crystal. So I can go right for the boss, and I don't have to worry about these crystals, okay? But I still want that HP scaling from Spectra, but now I'm leveraging the DOT from Baretta as well to get some better results, okay? So just to kind of compare, if you're in the Hall of Water B10, you have a 29.4% chance to get mid-essence versus a 24.9% chance in the Hall of Water B8. That essentially means that you only have a 5% chance higher of getting mid-essence if you're in the B10 versus B8. Now, technically, it is like a 20% chance higher rate comparatively, but when you look at the collection of runs, that 5% isn't a huge difference, okay? And when you look at high essence, you have a 10.1% chance of getting it in B8 versus a 13.7% chance in B10. So again, it's only a 3.6% higher chance, and you're running these in about half the time, okay? So if you're running these in half the time, but the rates aren't 50 to 100% better, then statistically it doesn't actually make sense to run the Hall of Water B10 unless you have an absolute insane speed team that's able to do it. So if you're watching this video and you're early on in the game and you're like, I'm trying to clear the Hall of B10 because I want the best essence, the highest drop rates, the reality is that B8 versus B10 isn't a big difference, and B8 you can clear a lot faster. You could clear it the same with the Darion team, so if you don't have Baretta yet, that's okay. But these are all 3-star, 3-star, 4-star fusible, and then Vero, I talk about how to fuse him in 48 hours in one of my other videos, which I'll link up in the description below. But you absolutely want to leverage these monsters. And now, just as a little additional information as to what you can collect when you're farming the Hall of Water B8, you can get 1 to 5 low essence, 1 to 4 mid essence, and 1 to 3 high essence. You can also get Angelmon of the water type. You can get 2-star max Rainbowmon, 3-star max Rainbowmon, or you can find a secret dungeon. You can also get 1 to 7 unknown scrolls and potentially get 1 mystical scroll. Or you can get 1 to 3 summoning stones or 1 to 12 magic dust throughout all of the halls of water. So here's the thing. If you're watching this video and you're looking for a solid beginner team for the Hall of Water B10, absolutely check out the team that I referenced earlier. That lineup is really easy to obtain. It does require Vero, but it allows you to clear it pretty rapidly and pretty quickly. But if you're in this for the essence and you're looking this video up because you think clearing the Hall of Water B10 is going to get me more essence at a faster rate, that's just not statistically true, and it's probably worth it to farm the Hall of Water B8. So that's all I've got for you guys today. If you found this video incredibly helpful, do me a quick favor, smash that like button and hit subscribe. I create content like this on a regular basis, and I'm sure you would absolutely enjoy more content like this if you liked this one itself. So hit that subscribe button and then leave me a comment and let me know. Are you going to continue to farm B10 because you have a speed team, or are you just getting started and it makes more sense for you to farm B8 where you're going to get less drops, but over time, it's going to take way less time to get those drops? Drop me a comment, let me know, and until next time, keep gaming bananas.